Brent says, hey, Phil, Gibson has introduced like 18 new guitars over the past few weeks. Do you think they have too many offerings? What is the impact to the dealers? Thanks. Paul Reed Smith famously said that if you're not coming out with something new, you're dying, right? That's a quote that he said. I'm misquoting it probably, but that's the context of it. And what I think is going to think about this: when you had COVID, when the guitar boom was happening, you didn't have hardly any new product coming out because everybody was just like, hey, we can't get what we were selling. Let's just focus on that. Sales slowing down. When they slow down, the first thing you want to do is get excitement back, right? One thing I've talked about many times over is that one of the biggest expenses, just in general of business, but in guitar business, since it's a guitar channel, we'll talk guitar, is advertising. It is a very, very expensive thing because if you're not telling people about your product, if you're not sticking your product in their face, somebody else is, and they will forget you, that's just how it goes. You think, oh, no, I would never forget Fender. I would never forget Gibson. Well, you don't forget them because their advertising budgets, Fender's advertising budget versus G&L's advertising budget. Let me put it this way. I don't know the numbers. If I was going to guess, Fender's advertising budget is probably half of the gross revenue of G&L guitars. I'll bet you I'm pretty close, right? So there's a reason why Fender's on your mind more than G&L. There's a reason why Gibson's on your mind more than Heritage. There's a reason why Paul Reed Smith is on your mind more than Nags, okay? It's just because, again, they're in front of you. They're putting it out there. So you're going to see as the market slows, as it's slowing, and as the sales drop, you're definitely the companies that have the ability to get their product in your face, and especially new product that's exciting. Oh, you better buy. It's the new thing. It's shinier, right? It stays in tune slightly better. It's comes with cool picks. I don't know, whatever it is, right? You're going to see a lot of products. So I'm not shocked. I think that's a good move from Gibson, right? Perfect. Think about this. If I was in a room with the people at Gibson and they asked me what I thought, I'd be like, you should come out with a bunch of new models because that will get people excited, get them talking. Whoa, it's almost like now we're talking about Gibson's new models on a show about guitars that tens of thousands of guitar players are going to watch this weekend. I wonder how that worked out for Gibson. So you see what I'm saying? So to answer your question, Brent, yeah, I think that's a good business. Now, the effect it has on dealers, it's tough on dealers. I started this conversation a year ago saying that if I was in the dealer market still, if I was a dealer, I would be preparing for your adjustments. This is a tricky time for dealers. When the market slows down, your dealers not only get inventory rich and cash poor because they got a lot of product, it's not moving like it was, but they also end up getting stuck with a lot of the wrong inventory. I felt these pains for a long time when I was a dealer where, this exact thing happened. The market slowed. I didn't buy a lot of the new product because I had a lot of the old products sitting on the wall. The customers would come in and go, hey, I'm looking for that, looking for a Strat. I'm like, they're right there on the wall. There's 25 American Strats in a row. And they go, but do you have Candy Apple Cinnamon, the new color? And I'm like, no, I don't have the new color, but I will give you 20% off the old color. And they're like, I got to have the new color because it's Candy Apple Cinnamon. By the way, I don't think there's any kind of candy apple cinnamon color. So hopefully Fender won't take the name. Maybe I'll keep that for something. So yeah, the dealers, it does have a negative effect, although it could have a positive effect. Some dealers, if they're positioned correctly and they are not loaded up with tons of the wrong old inventory, then yeah, they can order in the new inventory and they'll get people in the doors. It does work. It works. To me, in my experience, even like I said, I had a guitar store in one of the biggest recessions in history after, of course, the Great Depression. One of the biggest, it was the biggest recession in my lifetime. I had a business in the middle of that. So what I would tell you is I can tell you exactly what was working and not working. Discounting, even in a recession, didn't work as much as exciting new product. Because the reality is, in a slowing market, I hate to say it, it's just a part of the reality of life. Some people are loaded and ready for it, and some people are not. That's how recessions work. They can catch people off guard, or they can catch you, and you're fine. So what I mean by that is some people do have money. Think about this. In that recession, that was a housing recession. So I had tons and tons of customers that were in construction, screwed, no job, nothing, right? Tons of friends that were in real estate and lending and loans, screwed. But my friends in the medical field, they were fine. They weren't laying off nurses and doctors, right? They were working. So they had the money. They had disposable income. They were a little nervous to spend it because, it's doom and gloom every night on the news, but they could come in. And so when they would come in the store, although you could discount and get somebody to buy, I found in those cases that new color, that new model, that new thing would get them excited. And especially in a market like that, because it makes them feel really good that they can get something new and exciting. So I think it's smart. I think it's what you got to do. If you're like me, I just like seeing the new stuff. When I look back and my entire life being into this is as much as I've been into it, I don't think I've ever found a better joy with gear, right? Buying gear. There's no gear purchase that I've ever felt that was more exciting or had that endorphin hit that was much higher than when I would see the newest gear just come out through a magazine or at the NAMM show or now on a YouTube video. I don't know why. It just gets me excited to see something new and cool. And I go, oh, what is that? And then after that first dopamine hits, I go, oh yeah, I don't need that. But it's cool. And I kind of like that, I don't want to buy everything. So like I said, it's just cool if new stuff comes out. If you enjoyed this podcast clip, you can watch the entire episode by clicking the link in the description or streaming it on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. You can also join it live every week, Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I hope to see you there. Until next time, know your gear.